Happy Friday, Kings and Queens, Saints and Survivors. This is another beautiful day that the Lord has created. Let us rejoice and be glad, and let us get ready for a wonderful, wonderful weekend. No matter what you're going through this week, let's just thank the Lord for another day on this time side of life, and let's get out there and let's just enjoy ourselves this weekend. All right? You know what? I could pray all day long to God till I turn blue in the face or till I pass out for a job. But if I don't get up off this couch, apply myself and apply for the job, I'll never get that job. God doesn't operate like that. He expects me to do whatever I can do first before I come to him. I have to do my part first. I have to apply myself, apply for the job, and then let God apply his mighty power, which leads me to the topic today. Do your part and watch God part the Red Sea. Do your part and watch God part the Red Sea. The first thing we need to do in doing our part is we need to surround ourselves with like-minded folk. We can't do this by ourselves. I don't care how strong and independent you are. You can't do this Christian race by yourself. You will not make it by yourself. You need to surround yourself with like-minded folks. Exodus chapter 17, verse 9. And here we find that the children of Israel grew to fight against the Amalekites. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us our men and go and fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in thine hand. In other words, Moses, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to get on top of the hill and I'm going to hold that rod in my hands up high to the Lord. I'm going to apply myself and I'm going to let God apply his mighty power. And verse number 10 says, so Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. When he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. In other words, when Moses had that rod high to the sky, and his hand lifted up, Israel was putting the beat down on him. But when them arms came down, the Amalekites was beating down the Israelites. Why is that important? Well, because you need to surround yourself with somebody that's like-minded now, because Moses, in other words, Moses is getting tired. He's human. He can only hold his hands up so long. The battle was that they was fighting. Read verse number 12. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him. He sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hand, the one on one side and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down the other side. In other words, he was surrounded by somebody that understood what the mission was. So Aaron was on one side holding one arm up, Hur was on the other side holding the other side up. We need folks like that in our life. When we get weak, we get weary. We need somebody to hold us up, drag us across that finish line, because we know we in this fight to the end. They say they held us up to the sundown. That's how much they wanted to win. They held his hand up to the sundown. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. They applied themselves. Then they let God apply his power. They did their part. And he surrounded himself with somebody to help him do their part. And God gave him the victory. Our second point is this. We need to remember what God did for us and stop complaining and stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Exodus chapter 14. Exodus chapter 14, verses number 10. This is, you know the story of the Moses and the Red Sea. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were so afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? These people have been crying for 400 years out of Egypt. God got ready to deliver them. They got up against a little trouble on the way, and they already ready to go back to slavery. That's our mindset. God bring us out from out of bondage, give us a peace. We run into a little trouble, and we say we was better off being in slavery. That's how that mind works. So you got to do your part to keep going forward. Remember what God has done for you. And is this not the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than we should die in the wilderness. They lied. They was crying to God every day, Lord, get us out of this bondage. They didn't say we want to stay in no Egypt. They was ready to get out of that slavery. But now they think they about to die. They go, oh, we rather have stayed in Egypt and be slaves. At least we had 3 meals a day. No. Don't never forget what the Lord. When the Lord about to deliver you And he done deliver you. Don't worry about a free problem. Just stand still. Just stand still, pray to the Lord. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today. The Egyptians, whom ye have seen today, you shall see them again no more. Verse number, and the Lord shall fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, wherefore cried thou unto me, speak unto the children of Israel, that they could go forward. But I lift up thy rod, and stretch out thy hand over the sea, and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry land through the midst of the sea. The Lord said, Moses, what you crying out for me for? Do your part. Hold that rod up. I'm going to part that sea. Do your part. I'm going to part that sea. Y'all going to go across on dry land. I'm going to close that sea up. You'll never see them Egyptians no more. Do your part and watch God part the Red Sea. I love you and have a blessed weekend.